Let's assume for a moment that Apple has to pass on the cost of Trump's tariff war on to consumers. How much would you pay for a new iPhone? What's your breaking point? Wall Street analysts have been trying to answer this question, and some think an increase of 20% is likely. That would make the base model iPhone Pro go from $999 to around $1,200. Now, if you're on a month-to-month contract of around 2 years, that would probably mean around an extra $10 or so per month. Apple hasn't actually raised its prices on the base models for quite some time. In fact, the last time it made a price increase was in 2017 with the iPhone X. Back then, people wondered if it was crazy that Apple would expect consumers to pay $1,000 just for a smartphone. But it turned out to be the most popular model that year, and Apple redefined, essentially, what the iPhone meant for us as a vital device for our day-to-day life. Today, when most people go out and buy a new iPhone, they do it with some financing help, whether it's through their mobile carrier or through Apple. To soften the impact of a price increase, Apple or the carriers could extend those contracts from the typical 2 years to maybe 3 years instead. That would suit many people because we're holding onto our phones for longer. According to one study, people with phones 3 years old or more made up the largest cohort of customers upgrading their phones last quarter. And to me that makes sense because the batteries are getting better and there's not really huge improvements from 1 year to the next. Even though the iPhone Pro starts at $999 and there are cheaper versions, most people do in fact pay for the top models with more expensive enhancements. The average selling price for an iPhone in the US is now $1,112. That's up from $772 at the beginning of 2020. All this suggests to me that people are happy to spend more on their iPhone. And if Apple has to up the price, they'd probably be happy to pay that as well. But would that make you unhappy? Would it make you so unhappy that you went for an Android instead? Tell me in the comments.